That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, and you're waking up with TSS Fantasy.
It's a beautiful morning.
It's time. It's Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy.
Yeah.
It's Commissioner Cooper, and it's time.
How the fuck you got me up this damn early, Jason?
It's time. Yes, you are waking up with TSS Fantasy. It is week 13, the end of most of your regular fantasy seasons. And there's a lot of good games today, so we got a bunch to talk about. Let's all welcome into the studio Justin Jesus Herrera.
Yeah, it might be week 13 for the NFL, but it's pretty much like week 17 for fantasy rosters right now. I mean, you're entering that little time where you're like, all right, I got to get that first seed. I got to get in. You know, I don't want to miss the playoff one. I don't want to miss out on the pot, whatever you guys are rolling with. But guys, if you want to make sure that your rosters are getting in the playoffs, you got to check us out at tssfantasy.com. You got to check out our rankings while you're there. You know, you're looking through everybody's stuff. Check out our merchandise because we got a pretty cool little emblem up there with the knight and the TSS, all the cool little colors. You know, we know that Fred's got the cup. Show him the cup, Fred. Show him the cup, Fred. Where's the cup?
I forgot what I did.
But, you know, the best way to wake up with TSS is with one of TSS's cups. And so when I get mine, I'm going to wake up with mine as well.
All right. Yeah, we don't have display. That's right. You got to wake up with the TSS mug, but we'll have them displayed next time. That's our bad. Oh, damn. You got a cup. You didn't use the TSS, Fred. Damn.
I forgot to give Greg his. I seen him the other day, and I was like, oh, he left.
Let's welcome back from his hiatus in New York City, Greg OJ, the Juice is Loose Mayor. Welcome in, sir.
My best advice to you on this bright Sunday morning is don't drive to New York and back. 18 hours, terrible. Won't do it again.
Go ahead, get Frontier or Spirit, bro. Just go
Spirit,
ahead. Just go ahead and take the dip.
Take the train or something.
Justin, I want to get back to something you just said, by the way. One thing you do learn from TSS Fantasy about anything else is you never miss the pot. That's for sure. All right, let's also welcome to the studio Fred the Jester Reyes. Welcome in, my friend.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for following me at TSS Jester. All week I've been thinking about football because it's such a great week, man. There's a lot of great games. I can't wait till we talk about it. And Greg's been out of the playoffs since week 6.
He had to throw the shade in there. Wow. Kick a man while he's down, why don't you? Well, listen, speaking of all right, well, it's Christmas time, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what that means. You got to get yourself some presents, and we got some presents for you. If you're watching on Fantasy Football Network or Belly Up Live TV or on Facebook, go to our YouTube page, hit that subscribe button. We got a sack. It's ready for you.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all.
It's a signed Chris Johnson jersey, a signed Andre Reed jersey, a signed Jamison Williams jersey, a signed Damian Harris jersey, and a signed Jerry Jeudy helmet. It's here for you. We're giving away at Christmas. All you got to do is hit subscribe. It's really not that hard. Get yourself involved today. Justin, why do we do those crazy things?
Well, Commish, because tis the season to be grateful. And, you know, we are grateful for our fans because we are the fantasy show of the people.
The people, baby. Let's go. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, week 13. Let's get it started. We're going to do some weather first.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day.
This isn't just snow, this is flurries. It's coming down, and it clearly affected Matthew Stafford.
Not going to be a bright, shiny day in San Francisco, that's for sure, at least for 49er fans. Let's get it started with the dome games today. These are teams you don't have to worry about your kickers or your basically any weather elements. You got Pittsburgh at Atlanta, Jacksonville at Detroit, New York Jets at Minnesota, Seattle at LA Rams, and the LA Chargers at the Las Vegas Raiders. My apologies because I lost my notes and I got to read this off my phone, so I'll be looking down for the next portion of this. Green Bay at Chicago, 31 degrees. It is clear skies, however, 13-mile-an-hour winds, so a little gusty there. So you might want to just check on your kickers for that one. Washington at New York Giants, 41 degrees, partly cloudy, 6-mile-an-hour wind, so great football weather. Tennessee at Philly, same kind of weather, 42 degrees, clear, 5-mile-an-hour winds there. You got Denver at the Ravens, 41 degrees there. It's clear skies, 5-mile-an-hour winds. Cleveland at Houston, 65 degrees, overcast, 5-mile-an-hour winds. You got Miami, America's team, the Miami Dolphins, going to San Francisco, 56 degrees. It says possible light rain is what it has it listed for now, 8-mile-an-hour winds. We got KC at Cincinnati, 42 degrees, clear, 4-mile-an-hour winds. So great day for football. Should be a great fantasy bonanza in that one. Indianapolis at Dallas, 56 degrees and overcast. I guess Jerry's leaving the dome open tonight, so 6-mile-an-hour winds. The roof open. Saints at the Tampa Bay Bucks. That's on Monday night. 71 degrees, partly cloudy, 5-mile-an-hour wind. So nothing crazy other than maybe a little bit of that Miami-San Francisco game weather might be affecting. Just watch the weather for your kickers and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't think it's no big deal. All right, let's get to some things that are a big deal, and that's injuries. Let's bring in Brian Scott. Brian Scott, welcome into the studio, my friend. It is week 13, so we're definitely going to keep you busy today. What we got going on the injured list, welcome in, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me. I will not be throwing any shade around like the early parts of the show here. Wow. So last week and I think the week before was a lot of red, a lot of out designations. Today, it's all about the questionable designations. So a ton of questionable players here. Some stuff you guys might have to chime in and help me out if I missed anything, because there's just been so much going on, so much uncertainty around a lot of these players. So let's get started. Now, Najee Harris had an oblique strain or some type of abdominal injury, missed practice earlier this week, but returned in a limited fashion Friday. I think we'll see him, but their other running back, Jaylen Warren, was cleared from his injury designation and should be available as well. So we could see these guys get a little bit of shared time. We'll have to see. Harris, he's been playing all year, so he doesn't really need the conditioning. Could be a game time decision, see how much that oblique is hurting him still. So he might get some limited snaps. So Aaron Rodgers has been playing apparently with some thumb fracture since week 5. Also had a rib injury last week. Sounds like it's not really bothering him much. I think the thumb is actually probably a bigger issue for him going forward than the ribs. But with the season in jeopardy here, we could see Jordan Love just getting some time. So Aaron Rodgers, I think, has really been struggling because of this thumb. Now that I know he's got an avulsion fracture, which is basically a ligament injury. And that's one thing that he might need to have addressed in the offseason. Excuse me. It's a problem that a lot of quarterbacks have had before. Stafford being the one most recently who had surgery. during the offseason to fix a similar problem. Justin Fields should be good to go. He's been activated, practiced in full. I think they actually removed the injury designation from him completely, so we should see him play. Might tweak his running ability because he might be a little shy about taking a hit there still. Travis Etienne sounds like he's going to be good to go. Head coach Doug Peterson said he's going to be slated to play. Sounds like he just kind of tweaked the same foot that he injured last year, but it wasn't as serious. So we should be seeing him in action. Jameson Williams will be making his NFL debut today, so that's exciting. Apparently, word from the team was that he looked explosive and super fast. They couldn't get over how fast he was during his practices this past week as he ramped up his activity, and he will be starting or at least playing today. Jets running back Michael Carter listed as doubtful, so I don't think we'll be seeing him. He's dealing with a low ankle sprain, but hasn't been able to get much work in. Didn't practice pretty much all week, I believe, so I don't think we'll see him today. Jerry Jeudy, I don't think we're going to see him either, although there are some reports saying that he's expected to play, but he only got one limited practice in this week. He hasn't even practiced since week 10 when he suffered the injury, so I'd be shocked, but, stranger things have happened. Could be limited snap count if he does play, so not sure what kind of production you'll see out of him. Mike Boone, he's been designated to return from IR, running back for the Broncos. He returned to practice this week, so we could see him in the backfield taking some snaps. Conversely, J.K. Dobbins, who's in the 21-day window to come back from IR, he's not coming back today. He's out, which I'm not surprised. I've been talking about this all year. He's never really looked good. Had to have a knee scope in October. Until we see him get some full practices under his belt, I will not expect much out of him at all. Allen Robinson, unfortunately, lost for the year due to a foot fracture of the navicular bone. Hopefully not anything that's going to be a career-threatening injury, but definitely requires surgery for that. So he'll miss the rest of the season. Elijah Mitchell is out with an MCL sprain. We don't expect him back for at least 6 to 8 weeks. So fantasy purposes, he's pretty much done. Deebo Samuel, not sounding good coming out of 49ers camp. Shanahan said that the injury is actually more significant than they had hoped. He wasn't able to really ramp up his activity. So I don't think we're going to be seeing him, despite the fact that he's got a questionable tag. So keep an eye on that. Mike Williams, Chargers, he's going to be out. They were saying that he aggravated his ankle, but it sounds like he re-injured it. He didn't practice all week, so he's going to be missing his second straight game. Jamar Chase. So, this is awesome. He's been practicing. He's been feeling good. He hasn't had any pain. Apparently, though, the big news was that he was dealing with some type of stress fracture or hairline fracture in his hip. I think it was his acetabulum, which is the socket part. He was actually on crutches and non-weight bearing for a while initially, and played for 2 weeks with it. So luckily he averted any disaster. He was actually slated to come back last week, but said he wanted to wait another week just to give himself some more time and didn't want to make this a lingering long-term issue. So there's a potential that we could see him today. If we do, it might be limited. I don't think he's going to push it, but I think he could be available. Josh Jacobs, I don't think this calf injury is anything serious. He had a great game and played through the injury, and then just limited practice all week. So I think we should see him good to go. No ill effects from this today. I've been getting a bunch of questions about Alvin Kamara. I'm not sure if there's anything even going on with him. I couldn't find any major injury issues. Apparently he had some abdominal thing that people were questioning me on. He had been dealing with an illness a few weeks prior, so maybe that's just some residual effects from that. But I don't expect him to have any limited activity. We should be seeing him play. Leonard Fournette, we should see back in action today. Sounds like the threat of having a rookie kind of dethrone him might have been the thing that got Winter feeling better. So he returned to full practice on Thursday. We should see him suiting up. Those are all the ones I had listed, but if you guys have any other questions, I'm open.
Well, the only thing I was just going to comment, I think Kamara, what I heard was he's suffering from ready to give up on the season-itis is what I heard. Guys, anything else?
Darius Slayton from the Giants. Have you heard anything?
Yeah, so it sounds like his is just an illness issue, not an actual injury. He might have had a stomach bug. The flu's been going around everywhere. throughout the entire country. He could have had some flu-like symptoms. It sounds like he might be a true game time decision. They haven't ruled him out.
What about Joe Mixon?
The last I heard is he still had not cleared concussion protocol. I mean, that could literally happen right before the game.
Wow.
Last one. Have you heard anything? A couple of my leagues, I still have Brandon Cooks. Is he playing today?
I believe he should be. He didn't pop up on any of my reports. I did kind of skim through a few lists that had him on there. Not quite sure what his injury was. Might have been illness stuff too, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe you guys can correct me on that though.
Yeah, I got something for you. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Oh, thank you. Last I heard, and we can update that later in the show, that he was actually out today, is what I heard. Now, I'm not sure what the injury was, but I did pop up that he was out. But we'll check that later on the show.
I got a couple for you. I want to know about Daniel Bellinger. He had the eye injury. They said this is the first week he could possibly come back from that. He has a questionable tag right now. What's the story on that?
Yeah, he had an orbit fracture. I can't remember if I think he'd had surgery for it as well. Yeah, I mean, this shouldn't have affected anything with his vision. Maybe that, but if it did, that could be the thing slowing him down. Guys can return from this in football relatively quickly, believe it or not, because that part of the face, I mean, it's pretty rare to get that type of injury given the helmets and face masks. Mm-hmm. So that was a surprising diagnosis when we found out what happened. Yeah, I'm expecting him to be out there. I'm not sure what would have holding him back at this point, unless he's having some visual issues.
Well, that was a hell of a face mask because that guy literally jammed his entire hand.
It was like a 1 in a million shot. It literally, his hand went in right the only place it could.
Right. And I got one more. I noticed that Cortland Sutton didn't practice. I noticed that the tag is technically illness. What is possibility of him playing with an illness at this point, given it was a Friday DNP?
No, he's from the reports I read is that he is playing.
Okay.
And one of the big reasons why is KJ Hamler went on IR. So he's going to be basically
he's getting that IV in. He's getting ready to go. All right, Brian, we appreciate you coming in today. Let everyone know where they could follow and subscribe, get all your great stuff.
Yeah, in Twitter, at host Brian Scott, Facebook and Instagram, the Injured List podcast, my website, injuredlist.com. On there, you'll be able to find a bunch of old episodes where you can run through some stories and injuries and interviews with other healthcare professionals. I haven't put out a new episode. I'm waiting for the end of the football season here, as you guys are keeping me so busy. I don't have time to do much else. But unfortunately, with the holidays coming up, I'll be away. But, please text me or message me on any of those social platforms. If you have questions about injuries, I'll still be able to respond. I just won't be making as many appearances the next couple of weeks.
Well, make sure you follow, subscribe, get all of Brian's great content. We appreciate your contributions here to our show. Appreciate you, my friend, and we'll see you next time. And unfortunately, Jay was a little busy this week, speaking of being busy in the holidays. So I had to do the plugs myself this week. This is my first time plugging. Let's check out the commission's plugs of the week. Appreciate you, Brian.
No problem.
Oh, hey there. Not who you're expecting, huh?
Oh, hell
Jay's
no.
off doing some Christmas shopping, so I'm here to give you this Jay's Plugs of the Week. And let's start with the QB position. Mike White, although it makes me sick to say, has a great matchup today. Vikings 28th against fantasy QBs, and they will need to put up points against this Vikings offense. Mike White, great plug and play. Get him in, and also you could say adding him to your roster could bring you a green Christmas.
It's like a smile. Smiling's my favorite.
My next plug has found himself a little bit lost as of late. Dameon Pierce finding himself in a great matchup against the Cleveland Browns, who are 31st against fantasy running backs. What better way for the Texans to keep Deshaun off the field by running the football with Dameon Pierce? You'll see a lot of that this week, I'm sure. Dameon Pierce, plug him in. Just don't ask for a massage later. You could say my next plug has been a bit of a surprise this year. Josh Palmer going against this Raiders secondary that is not very good in a matchup that looks to be a fantasy bonanza with no Mike Williams. Gotta love Josh Palmer this week. He's giving you a hand in winning your fantasy championship. And my final plug this week is America's team, the Miami Dolphins. They are facing the San Francisco 49ers in a game that could be marred by weather. Lots of turnover opportunities. Also, San Francisco a little banged up, possibly no Deebo Samuel. Look for America's team, the Miami Dolphins, to save the day.
As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
America's team to finish it out. All right, that was my go at the plugs this week. What do you
It was good until the end.
Yeah, I was actually enjoying it. Then we had to throw in the Miami thing again.
Yeah, you know, I got to put it in there at least once. All right, let's get to our favorite time, the mailbag.
You've got mail.
All right, to the mailbag we go. Let's start with Fred today. You're the last one in, so you're going to be the first one to start because you're not joshing around. Deshaun Watson at Houston or Jay Lawrence? Jay Lawrence. I don't know who Jay Lawrence is, but he's
New
at
quarterback.
Tennessee. I think I meant to put Jalen Hurts. Actually, is what that question was. I don't know where Lawrence. I don't know where Lawrence got involved.
I was so confused.
Is it Trevor Lawrence? Is it Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Lawrence, they had a baby. All right, so Jalen Hurts at Tennessee or Deshaun Watson at Houston?
Wow, so they're both intriguing picks. So I read yesterday that, you know, Tennessee's run defense is top notch. So Hurts might be have to go to the air a lot. And of course, Watson's going back to Houston. He might have some stuff to prove. So you know what? I'm gonna take a flyer. I'm gonna go with Deshaun Watson only because, and this is the reason why, because just like we said the other day, they're not going to play Watson just to have him hand the ball off 35 times against Houston. He's going to have to run a little bit. It's a good game for him to get warmed up. They're 1-9 with one tie. Why not let Watson do his thing, get ready for next year?
Let's get warmed up. Throw the ball 50 times today.
Throw the ball 20 times, run the ball 20 times. Let's get back in football shape.
Yeah, who knows? Get that shoulder warmed up. You got it, Greg. All right, let's go to Greg for this next one. It's Tua much, Tua little, Tua late. Tua at San Francisco or Dak Prescott versus Indianapolis?
Well, you know, with that weather out in San Francisco, they may want to run the ball more because Jeff Wilson and I believe most starters are going to be back. So you got that good combination. And Indy has not shown up on defense this year. So I'm going to go with Dak Prescott. I'm going to do a flyer like Freddie said. I'm going to go with Dak.
All right, Dak it is. Let's go to Justin for this next one. That's Amade. It's Derek Carr versus the LA Chargers or Geno Smith at the Rams.
I'm going to go Derek Carr on this one. I think Geno's going to have a good day, but I don't think Geno's going to be needed after the second half. The Rams are an absolute sacrificial lamb, pun intended, on that one. And, Derek Carr is going to be in for a big game this week. The Chargers are going to be tough. This is just it's a back and forth struggle for who's going to get that second place in the AFC West. And I can see this being just bombs all day long to Devontae Adams. So I'm going to go Derek Carr.
All right. I'm going to hit this right in Fred's wheelhouse, see where he goes here. It's Najee by nature, and it's Tom Brady versus New Orleans or Mike White at Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Okay, so here we go. New Orleans is not that good at all. You know what? I'm gonna do it, man. I have to do it, right? I have to go with Mike White. He's going against the 29th ranked defense, the 28th ranked defense. Tom Brady has not looked too good lately. I think Mike White wants to keep the job, and he has to do good for us to win today. So let's go, Mike White.
Yeah, I think the last time they played, Brady ended up with 10, 11. I think they won, but he didn't end up with many points against Saints. They just have his number for some odd reason. All right, let's go let's go to Greg. Pop it, lock it, drop it. It's Kirk Cousins versus the Jets or Jared Goff versus Jacksonville.
You know, most people would jump at Kirk Cousins because he has the weapons but that Jet secondary with DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner has been very, very tough this year. So the Lions, they got Williams back, they got Amon St. Brown. I'm gonna go with Jared Goff versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, I like it. Let's go. This is from our Twitter feed, Justin. This is from Kevin S., the fantasy football grinder. Justin Fields versus Green Bay or Trevor Lawrence at Detroit?
Oh,
Yeah, I had Trevor Lawrence in the other question, and then when he asked, I was like, "Oh, I got to change it." So that's what prompted the Jay Lawrence.
There's no way Jay Lawrence instead of Jay Hurts. That's just funny.
It was this morning. What do you got? All right.
I got you. It was before your first cup of coffee. I got you. You know what? With this one, this is such a good one right here. I think that these guys could easily be like, neck and neck as far as points goes, because Trevor Lawrence got Detroit worst defense against everything. And then you got Justin Fields, who's got the ability to run for 147 yards on any given Sunday. You know what? Justin Fields is coming back from an injury. I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence on this one. He's been absolutely phenomenal these past 3 games. I noted on the Friday show, 77% completion and no interceptions. I think he's going to take it to town today on Detroit.
All right, we got a live question here. We can just kind of kick this. I don't know where it's going. L Division Champos wants to know, non-fantasy but league question. Wants to know, should a league inherit the name of a 4-time winner?
Freddie would love that.
Never, man. You can't do that.
I don't know about inheriting no names, bro. I don't know. All right, Fred, let's go to you. This is also from Twitter, from a James Adam. He needs one. Leonard Fournette versus New Orleans, A.J. Dillon at Chicago, Isaiah Pacheco at Cincinnati, Kerwin Williams versus Seattle, or Rondell White versus New Orleans.
Man, this is not really good.
No.
Rondell White got Fournette by. Wait, he got Rondell White and Fournette?
Yeah, he's got them both. I should have put them up together.
Leave them both off. Then if you got both of them, man. AJ Dillon, I don't like them against Chicago. Kyron Williams for the Rams. I would run with either Pacheco or Kyron Williams, so I would be leading to Isaiah Pacheco more because it's Cincinnati versus KC, they throw the ball a lot. I was listening to Mahomes the other day. He sounded like he's ready to play, and he really wants to beat Cincinnati. He didn't take them losses last year, so I'll ride with Pacheco.
All right, and it's Rashad White, not Rondell. My bad. That was me. I let you know that. That's my fault. All right, let's go to Greg. This is another live one from Jeb Armstrong. Appreciate the question, sir. Should I start Herbert or Fields? Also, should I start Rashad White or Pittman in the flex?
Well, I'm gonna go with like Justin said. Fields is coming off an injury, and Herbert is starting to warm up now at this time of the season. He's starting to look good. He's looking for his weapons. So I'm gonna go with Herbert over Fields for right now because Fields is coming back from the injury. And Rashad White or Pittman. It looked like Rashad White took over that job from Leonard Fournette, man. He's been looking good, and Brady's been looking for him in the pass game. And I was watching the game the other day, and he looks explosive coming out the backfield. So I'm going to go with Rashad White over Pittman in the flex.
All right, Jeb, appreciate your question. Heard it from the juice. Let's go to Justin, also from our Twitter feed from Rutrow. A full PPR. He wants to know Travis Etienne at Detroit or Jamal Williams versus Jacksonville.
I can see why he had that tag. Rutrow. How do I fit both these guys in here?
Picture of a dog, so.
Oh. What's it, Scooby-Doo?
No, I think it's his dog, so whatever.
Okay, gotcha. You know what? I'm going to go with ETN on this one. And the reasoning behind it is Jamal Williams gets nothing in the passing attack. So if you really put side by side Swift and Williams the past couple of weeks, it's been neck and neck. Literally, it's been separated by no more than 2 points. And that's saying something because Jamal Williams has taken over the entire rushing load. That just means that, DeAndre Swift is your passing guy. And in a PPR, 8 receptions, whether it's for 20 yards or 5 yards, still means 8 points. So I'm going to go with ETN on this one. He gets the full workload, and Jamal Williams only gets half of it.
All right. See, we totally differ because I went Jamal Williams only because, with his injury, I was just I don't really know how much.
But it's full PPR
right.
is what I'm getting at here.
No, you're right. I mean, listen, we could argue either point all day.
Either one of us could be right. We could come back to this later.
That's the point of the show. We have no idea. We're just guessing. What the hell?
Exactly.
All right, we're going to say good morning to our friend, Mr. Mallard, feeling very sophisticated this morning. He wanted to chime in. The entire Jets team wearing Mike White shirt this weekend was the biggest troll job ever on Zach Wilson, and he loved.
I can't believe they did that.
Dude,
bro.
they love
like
Mike
I told
White.
you before,
I know, but I can't even the coach
The locker
even
room
say
loves
anything.
Mike White.
I think they
divots and pivots. Keep up, man. Stay for the entire show. Some Mike White trolling is still coming, man. It's still to come.
There is a little bit of trolling. There is a little bit of trolling to Zach Wilson for sure. All right, let's go on to I think Justin, you're up. Thank Evans. It's Gus Edwards versus Denver or AJ Dillon at Chicago.
Ooh.
You okay?
Justin, you okay, buddy?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was watching. My bad. I got a Twitter message from somebody about a question, so that's why I looked at it.
I was like, damn, is he stroking out right now in front of us? All right. So
well, I thought the last one was mine, so that's why I thought it was going to somebody else.
I even said I wasn't sure. I don't remember who's up, but I think I was.
But I'll answer. Don't worry, I got you.
All right, so Gus Edwards versus Denver or AJ Dillon at Chicago. I'm going to answer the
what's going on? I'm going to go with AJ Dillon against Chicago. Chicago's defense is pretty bad. Last week we saw him get 84 yards on 8 carries and a touchdown. Love the matchup. Gus Edwards has to play Denver's defense, which has actually been pretty good against the rush, even though it hasn't been good as a whole. So I'm going to go with Dillon this week.
All right. This one, another one on Twitter. It's Gus Fink. He's got Brian Robinson. I guess I forgot to put him playing the Giants. Sorry about that. Rashad White versus New Orleans. Leonard Fournette. He's got them both versus New Orleans. Jaylen Warren at Atlanta, or again, Kyron Williams versus Seattle. What say you? Need one.
Who's this going to?
Fred. That was Fred. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So wait. So it beat Robinson, all white versus New Orleans.
No, Brian Robinson versus
Brian Robinson. That right at the Giants. Pay attention.
Okay.
That's what I said. We started. He's at the Giants.
No White, no Fournette. I don't like the share. Warren at Atlanta. So I'm gonna go with, honestly, and I hate to pick against the Giants, but I'm gonna go with Brian Robinson, man. They were talking about him yesterday, and they were talking about him good. That since he's come back and he's been leading that team, and boy, they are on a freaking roll.
Mm-hmm.
All right, indeed, and Gibson is playing today. From what I saw, a little hobbled though. So, but again, Brian Robinson should have a decent day. We'll see. Let's go from our friend Rutro on Twitter. He wants to know full PPR: Treylon Burks versus Philly or Julio Jones. Sorry, Julius Irvin Jones. Let's go, Greg. What do you say on that one?
This is a tough one, man. Because like we said earlier, Brady for some reason struggles against New Orleans. They have his number, and Burks has been coming on. But I don't like Tennessee's passing game. But I'm gonna go with Burks. I like Burks. He's a rookie, brings a little life to the offense, open it up for the King. I'm gonna go with Burks on this one. I just don't like Tampa against New Orleans this week.
So. Our friend Mr. Mallard said, Justin, you aren't really Jesus, right? You can't just manifest your thoughts in others. You have to speak.
I just turned this coffee into pure scotch. Cheers.
Water to wine.
We got to hang out with Justin more often if that's the case. All right, let's get back to the questions. I believe Justin is up. Shahan Solo.
What is in the cup? What is in the cup?
Terry McLaurin at the Giants or Chris Olave at Tampa Bay?
Oh, man. That's a pretty tough one. Yeah, McLaurin, against the Giants. I like the Giants defense. They've got, they've been trekking along. It's been D and Saquon Barkley for the Giants all year long. Then you got Chris Olave. He's always a touchdown away from breaking into the top, 12. But, that's Andy Dalton. Are we going to get a touchdown from him? Andy Dalton seems to like Jawan Johnson when it comes to the red zone. You know what? I'm gonna go with Chris Olave in this one.
Yep.
You know, Olave, whether it's PPR or not, he consistently always gets that 6 and 60. And like I said, the touchdown is just a cherry on top. If you get it, then he's going to be wide receiver 1. If you don't, he's still probably going to be in that top 24.
All right, let's go to Fred for this next one. Josh Jacobs, Jingleheimer Schmidt. It's flex 1. Damn, Rashad White's on everybody's team. Rashad White versus New Orleans. DK Metcalf at LA Rams, or Brandon Ayuk versus Miami.
All right. So I already said numerous times we're not going to go with Rashad White today. I just don't like the split with him and Fournette. I don't like Ayuk. I mean, even though this guy's not playing, what's his name? San Francisco. Debo. So he might be okay, but I think I prefer to go with DK Metcalf. Geno's playing. The Rams stink. Whole team is on IR, so I'm definitely going with DK Metcalf today.
All right. Actually, Fred, I'm going to stick with you on this one because you answered his question earlier. So I took out his other question. He wanted to know the starting running back earlier, so I took him out. You went with Brian Robinson. Now he's got to flex one of these guys. Who do you flex here?
No Fournette, no White, Jalen Warren, Kyron Williams. You know what? Let's go with the big boy. Let's go with Dalton Schultz, man. Dallas has been playing a really good football. I mean, they're talking about even competing with the Eagles now for that division, and they just been hot lately. So let's go with Dalton Schultz today. You can't cover everybody, and CeeDee Lamb's going to take most of the attention from Indianapolis. Let's go Schultz.
So he asked the same. Gus also asked one other question. He wanted to know who to start at tight end. So who would you start between Schultz and Freiermuth? Would you start either one?
Schultz. Yeah, Schultz.
You would start Schultz at tight end. So take Schultz out now. Would you flex Freiermuth over these guys?
That's a good. Right? Yeah, you confused me a little bit.
That's fucking so confusing.
No. I would have picked Jalen Warren, but I know Najee's back today. He doesn't want to give up his job, so I would take a flyer on Kyron Williams. There's not much going on over in the Rams country. Everybody's hurt, so somebody has to get the reps and somebody has to get the points. So why not the running back?
Okay, so he's going to flex Kyron. I would flex Freiermuth. I wouldn't have no problems. Atlanta's got no defense at all, really, quite frankly.
All right,
so we got L Division Champos is back for Greg. He wants to know McKinnon versus the Bengals or Hunt versus the Texans, PPR.
I like McKinnon. I do. I like McKinnon because there's no CEH. The backfield is Pacheco and McKinnon basically for the Chiefs. Hunt has not shown up really this season. I know Deshaun Watson is coming back, but I like McKinnon because he's going to get a lot of the catches out of the backfield, especially in the red zone. He plays a lot in the red zone, and I noticed that. So I'm gonna go with McKinnon versus the Bengals.
All right, Mr. Mallard has a question. Justin, Mike Evans against the New Orleans Lattimores or Christian Watson versus Chicago?
Oh, it's Christian Watson all day long. And it's not even because Mike Evans, Marcus Lattimore owns space in Mike Evans' head, has gotten him kicked out of multiple games before. It's because Mike Evans has been trash this season. And Christian Watson is just getting freaking hot. 6 touchdowns in the past 3 games. Keep rolling with that train until the wheels fall off.
All right, like that. Brandon has a comment. Brandon, appreciate your question, my friend. This is for Fred, full PPR. Would you sit Pittman versus Dallas over Kyron Williams, we talked about earlier, Zonovan White, and Gus Edwards, the Gus bus? What say you?
Would I sit him? Probably not, because full PPR, you're getting points every which way. You got 3 running backs here, which Zonovan doesn't get any. He's just a handoff running back. Gus Edwards is his first day back, so it's going to be Kyron or Pittman, and I think they're still going to have to throw the ball to Indianapolis. They're still kind of in the playoff hunt, so I'm going with Pittman.
And L Division Champos agree with you there, Greg. All right, let's go to Greg on this one. This is James Adams. He wants to flex one of these guys. And I think this was asked earlier, and he asked for the running back, which was Pacheco. I think Fred answered earlier. So let's take Pacheco out. Who would you flex out of these guys?
This is tough. I don't like A.J. Dillon, man. I mean, he hasn't shown what I thought he would have shown this year.
Yeah.
And then Fournette and Rashad White are going to split those carries. Drake London, where has he been? Wow, this is a tough one. To take Pacheco out, you know what? I'm gonna run with my boy Freddie. I'm gonna go Kyron Williams with this. He's been catching balls out the backfield, and there's nobody in Los Angeles. This is like, where did everybody go? So I'm gonna go with Kyron Williams on this one.
All
The
right.
injured reserve.
Injured reserve.
The whole offense.
Yeah, exactly.
All
Making
right.
a business decision at this point. Sorry.
Let's go to we're gonna finish these up here. We got our final ones. We got I lost the damn one. Here's my number, so call me Brady. You're gonna flex one of these guys. Alan Lazard at Chicago, Mac Hollins at the Chargers, or Tyler Algier versus Steelers.
I'm glad I don't got this one. I don't like this question.
You know what?
He's out.
For this one, it's gonna be I think it's gonna be Mac Hollins for me. Mac Hollins, Alan Lazard, he's gone away ever since Christian Watson has ascended. Tyler Algier has gone away. Mac Hollins is here to stay. He's got back-to-back games with double-digit fantasy points, and that's all you need in a flex, right? That's all you want. So I'll go with Mac Hollins in this one.
Indeed. All right, we're getting you paid for your fantasy rosters, but it's time, if you want to make some bets, get your pen and paper out, because we're going to get you paid with some bets with Mikey Bets. Let's bring him in. Mikey Bets is in the house. Welcome into the studio, my friend.
What's up, guys? Good morning.
Good morning. Appreciate you being in. Let's take a look at last week. Last week, you went 8-3 once again, showing us what time it is. And for the season, 157-65. Mikey Bets getting you paid on TSS Fantasy. What bets do you got for us today, my friend?
Hopefully we can repeat it again with a winning week. I don't think I've had a losing week, so I'm kind of excited. I just jinxed myself. Don't take this back.
Nobody write any of these down. All right.
A.J. Brown over 82.5 receiving yards. Traylon Burks over 46.5 receiving yards. DJ Chark over 37.5 receiving yards. These are all revenge games for me. Aaron Rodgers over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Watson over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Watson over 242.5 passing yards. Jalen Waddle over 62.5 receiving yards. Higgins over 60.5 receiving yards. And then Terry McLaurin over 58.5 receiving yards.
All righty. You heard it here. You better wrote those down and get your picks in. Get on to Underdog Fantasy. They got some great daily pick'em contests. Use the promo code TSS. We'll double your deposit up to $100. Get on it. Mikey Bets will get you paid on it as well. Speaking of Underdog, hey, it's time to make some picks. Let's go to our pick'em section, brought to you by Underdog Fantasy.
Question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
All right. Do you feel lucky today? Last week, Jesus and Nick were feeling lucky. 11-4 last week. Pretty damn good. Greg also on the comeback at 10-5. Me and Fred sat there, brought up the rear at 9-6. So for the season, Justin Jesus, numero uno, 112.67. I'm in second with 110. Nick is at 108, and look who is tied at the bottom now. Greg has caught Freddie. Oh, say it ain't so, my friends. Might be trouble here. coming up. All right, well, let's get it started. We'll start with Greg. Since you're back, we'll figure we'll start you, get you nice and warmed up. Packers at the Bears. The Packers lead the series 104-95 six dang ties, believe it or not. Last time they played in September, Green Bay won 27-10. It's actually 7 wins in a row, and I even look farther back. Did you know Green Bay has won 22 out of the last 25 games against the Bears? That's crazy stat. Packers are favored in this game by 4.5, and the over-under is 45. What say you, my friend Greg?
I'm looking at Mikey's face the whole time you're reading those.
I came here for a roast.
And I'm like, I'm there because that's how the Jets are against New England. So it's like, I'm there. So, Mike, you're going to hate me, man. Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears, bro. I'm going with the Pack. Even with the bum thumb, Watson's been coming on, and they've been using a lot more of Aaron Jones, so running the offense through him, and Justin Fields is banged up. So I'm gonna go with Green Bay, man. I like Green Bay. I'm sorry, Mikey. I'm sorry.
Fred, who you like?
Totally opposite. I'm going with the Bears. The reason I'm going with the Bears is when your quarterback talks about, yeah, it's okay. I understand if they're going to sit me down the rest of the season, you know your heart ain't in it. And Rodgers already said you can sit me and he'll be okay with it as long as they're out. So I think Justin Fields come back. I think he plays a little bit. I think Montgomery has a big game. I think the Bears are at home. Today the Bears beat the Packers.
Mikey, what say you?
I want you guys to cut this because I don't want this out. I'm gonna go ahead and take. Nope, I'm taking Bears plus 3.5. I'll take the Bears plus 3.5.
I didn't want that. I got enough fan cards in my pocket already, so
yeah,
it's all right.
Yeah.
Justin,
I also, real quick, have 2 more free plays. Anytime touchdown scorer for Aaron Jones and over receiving yards for Aaron Jones.
Okay, he likes Aaron Jones today against his own Bears. Justin, who you like?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Mikey. I'm going with the Pack on this one. The Pack, because Aaron Rodgers, I always love that clip of when that's the only clip I like of Aaron Rodgers when he goes out to, he's like, I still own you. And oof.
Oh, you like that? Yeah, that's a nice one. You find that good? Great. Love
it's pretty hilarious.
That's okay, Mikey. 2 will be doing that today, so don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Here are our picks today. Justin and I and the Juice all like Green Bay. Nick and Fred like the Bears. All right, let's go to our next one. The Jets, Jets at the Vikings. Jets lead the series 8-3. The last time these teams played was 2018. Minnesota won 31-17. Vikings favored by 3, and the over-under is 44.5. Fred, who you like?
Man, this is tough. The true game of the week. Jets versus Vikings. Let's see here. They have 9-2, 7-4. I'm going with the Jets. Jets. Everybody is happy. The locker room is in unison. They did my man. I gotta say they did Zach pretty wrong wearing them T-shirts. They did, man. They did because you know he's gonna play to be on the team next year. But listen. If everybody's willing to follow you and play for you and play hard for you, let's go. Jets really need it today.
Maybe a lesson he needed to learn. Mikey, what say you? Who you like?
I'm gonna go with the Vikings just because Greg went with the Packers. So
I love those spiteful picks. Those are the best ones. Justin, who you like?
So the Jets become the rightful owners of the AFC East crown today. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to say. The Vikings against that defense, it's going to be rough.
There's nothing else to say because you're a green butt licker. All right, what do you say, Greg?
Such a baby.
All day. Ride the Mike White train, baby. Let's go Jets.
I like Mike White today, but I don't like him enough to say they're going to win. Minnesota for me and Nick. I like the Jets. I like the Jets to put up points today. I just don't like them to pull out the hater. All right, Justin, let's go to you. Steelers at the Falcons. Steelers lead this series 14-2-1. Damn. 2018 was the last time they played. The Steelers won 41-17. The Falcons actually are favored by 1, and the over-under is 43. Justin, what say you?
Oh, man. They've only won once against the Steelers? That's freaking – or is that the tie? Or is that a tie? Whatever. Anyways, the Steelers are going to make it a W today. I feel like this is kind of like a little mini resurgence, kind of save Mike Tomlin's skin. as far as getting judged for, the hot seat this offseason. Steelers are piecing it together little by little, and, Falcons have been slowly falling apart. This game is probably going to be a tight one, but I'll predict the Steelers kind of like the way that they won last week against the Colts.
Greg?
Well, I got to catch you guys, so I went with the Falcons on this one. Mariota, Cordell Patterson. I just like the matchup. I'm going to go with the Falcons, and I need to catch you guys and pass Freddie.
All right, Fred. What's saying you?
I went with the Steelers because they actually been playing pretty good lately. I think Kenny Pickett's coming to his own. I know Mike Tomlin does not like to lose. He's never been under 500 in his entire coaching career. So this is a good way for him to keep it going. I think the Steelers win today.
Okay, what do you say, Mikey?
We'll go with the Steelers as well. I like it.
All right, I messed up on a graphic. That makes I put Steelers for you, Greg. I don't know why. I even checked. I'm like, why did I put that? My bad on that. You are said Lone Wolf though today, Greg.
Catch him.
Yeah,
catch him.
Indeed. All right. So, Greg, since we're here on you, Jahay has a question. 514 standard start one. Dameon Pierce, Swift, Knight, or Dillon, and already starting Jones and Jamal Williams. Looks like. So, who'd you start out of those four?
I'm gonna go with Dameon Pierce. I'm gonna go with it. Like Freddie said earlier, they got to control the ball. Well, you said that earlier in the plug 'em. To control the ball, keep the ball out of Deshaun Watson's hand, give it to Pierce all day. 20-25 carries today for Dameon Pierce.
All right, Fred, how about this one for you? Samjay Pirine or DK Metcalf today? I don't know if it's PPR or standard. That would make a difference, but
I think they're gonna more air the ball out than anything. And like I said, I really like Metcalf going against the depleted Rams. Rams are just terrible. Casey's still up a contender, and they're up and coming, and their defense is getting better by the week. So I'm going with Metcalf.
All right, DK Metcalf, Jahay, nap time. Thank you both for your questions. Got one more, Justin. This one for you. Stratton Mowry wants to know full PPR. Look like pick 2. Jalen Waddle at San Francisco. Yeah. Ken Walker at the Rams or Dalvin Cook versus the Jets. Nice options.
Yeah, very nice options. I'll definitely go with Waddle because he was my pick for this week. And then Kenneth Walker versus Dalvin Cook. It's good that it's full PPR because that, kind of eliminates a little bit for me. I'll go with Dalvin Cook on this one. I think the Rams game is going to be a good matchup for Kenneth Walker, but Cook offers more in the passing game than Walker does. Walker has not been a full-on receiving threat this year, but Cook has been. And they'll always be able to get, Dalvin Cook some sort of touches in this game. I'll go with Cook and Waddle.
Thank you, Stratton, for your question. Appreciate you tuning in. Nap time, thank you as well. All right, let's get on to our next matchup. Titans at the Eagles. The Eagles lead the series 7-5. Last time they played was 2018. Tennessee won in overtime, 26-23. The over-under in this matchup is 44. The Eagles are favored by 4.5. And by the way, the Eagles have won 4 out of the last 5 of these matchups. Greg, what say you?
Hold on. I'm doing a Fred right now. Trying to find my picks.
I
think I went with the Eagles on this one. I think the Eagles are going to be too much for the Titans, man. Jalen Hurts. And I like how Sanders has come along as well. And that Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown connection is looking lovely. Jason, good pickup on that in fantasy. But, yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles on this one.
Indeed. All right, Fred, what say you?
Oh, man, this is another big game, boy. I'm going to keep my eye on this one, too. I'm going with Philadelphia just because 2 slobber knockers. One has to beat the other. I'm taking the home team, going with Philly.
Mikey?
I like the revenge games here for Treylon Burks and for A.J. Brown. I think they're both going to go off. But at the end of the day, I'm taking the Eagles.
Justin, you?
Yeah, so, I'm going with the Eagles on this one. Every time the Titans get close to beating one of these giant juggernaut teams, they always lose by 3 points. So I'm going to go with the Eagles on this one. I think they can close it out.
I agree as well. I think we're all going Eagles for this one. Just know how to win at this point. All right, let's go to the next one. Browns at the Texans, the return of the massage. Texans actually lead this series 7-5. Last time they played was last year. Cleveland won 31-21. Browns are favored by 8, and the over-under is 46.5. Fred, what say you?
Oh man, I'm going Browns. Houston's playing for that quarterback pick in the draft, so there's nothing much to say. They're like the Rams; they're done. So Browns still have a little bit to play for. They're not totally out yet. Deshaun Watson's back. Let's go.
Mikey, who you like?
Yeah, Browns are going to be the one with the happy ending this week. So
Got it. Boy, we're full of these today. Justin, what say you?
Browns all the way. Texans can't do anything, and they don't want to do anything until Bryce Young gets there.
The show of Deshaun puns. How about you, Greg?
Browns.
Keep it Brown all day. Gotta love it. Like the Browns today, Deshaun gets his revenge. All right, let's go to this next one. Could be an interesting fantasy game. Jags at the Lions. The Lions lead this series 4-3. The last time they played was 2020. Detroit won 34-16. They've actually won 3 in a row. The Lions are favored by 1, and the over-under is 51. What say you, Justin?
Oh, it's going to be a fantasy bonanza game all the way. Play anybody you have on there as a major starter on both these teams because it's going to pay off. I got the Lions in this one. I think the Lions, at this point, they're figuring out how to win. Both teams don't really know how to do that at this point. And, I back Dan Campbell a little bit more than I back Doug Peterson at this point. I think that Campbell is, taking, the shit show that is this Detroit Lions defense and has kind of like put a little bit of life into it, with Aiden Hutchinson coming out and, somehow they're making it work with these bum ass corners. So I'm going to go with the Lions this week.
All right, Greg, what say you?
Lions, man. I love all their weapons. As bad as they've been on defense, that offense is explosive. So I like the Lions.
Fred, how about you, sir? And you're on mute.
I'm going with the Lions. I like their offense. I like they're playing at home. I just think, and they're still playing for something. The Jaguars are not. So let's go with Lions.
Mikey?
I like the Jaguars just because I think the coach is better. And if it's a pick 'em, I think I'm going to go with the coach.
I'm going to go I'm going to be the lone wolf on our panel with the Jags this week. Oh, I like their defense a little better in this matchup. I think they're just playing a little bit better football. But like Justin said, this is pretty much a pick 'em game, quite frankly. So, do you go with the home team? Do you go with the better defense? What do you do? Let's just see what happens. Just throw it up in the air. Why not? All right, let's go on. Looks like we got a question here from Nap Time. Real quick, go to Justin. Jared Goff over Tua, he wants to know.
Yeah, sure. If you want to lose. No, you go with Tua this week. I mean, it's going to be a big game there. And, I'm not going to sit here and say stuff like, oh, Tua's a bum because he's good, So go with him. They're going to find a way to score. And it's going to be a highlight reel game. That's what I'm going to say.
Nap time.
The only thing I'd say about that, too, is Miami's missing its 2 left starting tackles. So, that's kind of scary. That's the only thing I'd be scared of for Tua.
It's definitely scary. I think they're going to scheme for that. They'll get rid of the ball pretty quick off the line. But I also will say, Nap Time, just so you're aware, that's Justin being a scared Niners fan. That's
yeah, I would have picked golf.
Yeah,
I would have been like, let's go.
I'm just playing with them. All right, let's get on to our next matchup. Commanders at the Giants. The Giants lead the series 105-71-4. They were swept last year 22-7 and 30-29. I'm sorry, Washington swept New York last year 22-7 and 30-9. The Commanders are favored by 2 and the over-under is 41. Greg, you just came from New York. What say you?
I hate to do this, but I'm going with the Commanders, man. They're moving both teams are moving in 2 different directions, right? The Giants are going down and the Commanders are moving up. And I think the Commanders found something with Brian Robinson. They're pounding the rock with him. Gibson, I know he's going to be limp, kind of hurt today, but Heineke, since he's taken over, the offense has had a little spark. So I'm going to go with the Commanders. I think Saquon still has a big game, but I think the Commanders are going to pull it out.
Fred, what say you?
Yeah, I'm going with the Giants. Listen, today we're talking about Saquon. He needs more touches. This is totally for playoff implications and seeding. It's a big game. I can't wait to watch this one as well. But it's in New York, so I'm going to give the home field advantage to the Giants.
All right, Mikey, who you like?
Yeah, I like the dogs barking this week. I think the Giants are going to win.
All right, Justin?
One team is sliding down. One team is ascending up. I'm going to go with the Ascension. I'm going to go with the Commanders.
Kind of agree with you on there, making Fred our lone wolf for this. Hey, that's what you're supposed to have for this pick. All right, let's go to Justin. Let's go to
Grab his
Justin.
nipples while doing that. Yeah. Ow.
Broncos yeah, exactly. Like the water boy at the end. Broncos at the Ravens. The Ravens lead the series 9-6. Last time they played, I didn't write down when it was, but Baltimore won 23-7. Ravens are favored in this one by 9.5. And the over-under is 39.5. And I heard earlier this morning the Broncos offense is headed for historic lows in this NFL. Justin, what say you?
Well, they already hit a historic low when they traded away for Russell Wilson. I'm just going to say this. The Ravens are going to win this game, and it's going to be a very close game because of that defense in Denver. I think that regardless of how bad the quarterback has played, this defense is going to come out and play for as long as they can until they get gassed. Lamar Jackson, this might be a week to maybe even like consider not playing him if you got a better quarterback out there. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think the Ravens will find a way to win this game.
Greg?
I like the Ravens. I think so much dysfunction going on in Denver. Like you saw the defensive lineman yelling at Wilson. I think they gave up. They're done. So I think Lamar's going to have a good game because I think Denver defense is like, we're done. Let's pack it up. They're making plans and trips to Miami this year. So,
what do you say, Fred?
Absolutely. I'm going with the oh my God, I lost my train of thought. The Ravens, yeah. It's sad. That's Hackett's out of there. I'm done with him. Yeah. Everybody's done with him, and Wilson has no command of this team. Let's go Baltimore.
Mikey?
I like the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to win, but I still think the Broncos are going to cover. Not sure how, but.
Yeah, we all like the Ravens. I keep saying the same thing every week, Mikey. This is going to be Russell Wilson's week. He's going to bounce back. It just doesn't keep happening. So, I'm with the Ravens on this here.
You're going to be saying that well into 2024.
Right, yeah, exactly. All right, let's go on to the game of the century. The America's team, the Miami Dolphins, goes to San Francisco today. The Dolphins lead this series 8-6. The last time they played was 2020. Miami won 43-17. Ooh-wee. Miami's won 4 out of the last 5. The 49ers favored by 4.5, and the over-under is 45.5. Fred, what say you?
Man, it's another good game. I went with the Niners only because they were at home. And the left tackle really bothered me. You can say what you want about putting a tight end on the edge, but when you got two of your left tackles, I know for many years with the Jets, it's really tough to especially against a really good 49ers defensive rush. So I went with the home field advantage. I went with the Niners.
Mikey?
I want to go with the Dolphins, but I'm going to go with the Niners.
Justin?
You already know where I'm going.
Not even need to ask. Greg, what say you?
Ooh. Well, traveling from the East Coast to the West Coast, I'm going with the Niners.
Yep, and you all suck and are wrong because I'm the lone wolf this week. Going with America's team, the Miami Dolphins. They are going to pull this out today. Super excited. Can't wait. All right, let's get on. Seahawks at Rams. Seahawks lead the series 25-24. Wow. Rams swept them last year 20-10, 26-17. The Rams have won 8 of the last 10. Seahawks are favored by 7. Over under is 41. Greg, what say you?
You know what? We're all joking about the Rams, but you got a heart of a champion. Donald's still going to play. Ramsey's still going to play. I'm going with Seattle, but I think the game is going to be a lot closer than what people think. That's all I'm saying. Because the Rams have to play for pride right now, and they got to do something. So Seahawks still, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people think.
Fred, what say you?
I say Seattle. There's not really much to talk about. We already dogged on the Rams so much. It's unbelievable.
Rams. Garbage. All right. What do you say, Mikey?
I like the Seahawks. Pete Carroll's going to spank Sean McVay.
Justin?
Juice, just real quick. Aaron Donald's not playing, which means that all the hope is gone in LA. Yeah, this
I'll
is
pick
just
the
sacrificial
Giants.
lambs.
Is this like they can't see this as like a true tanks thing going on, like truly tanking in
They
front of
don't, they
the
don't
whole
have
NFL?
picks to be
They don't have
taken.
picks ready. What
All
are they tanking for?
It's just a nightmare.
The
That's
Lions
right.
are
No doubt about it. All right, let's get on to a great game. Chiefs at the Bengals.
Woo.
Bengals lead the series 17-14. Last time they played, last year in the playoffs, 27-24 in OT. They also beat them in the regular season, 34-31. So Chiefs are favored by 2.5, over under 52.5. Fred, what say you?
Whoa, here we go, baby. What a game. Everybody knows where I'm gonna go, but I'm going with Casey. I'm never gonna go through the whole explanation. This game is gonna be awesome.
Ooh, I know. I can't wait. Mikey, what say you?
I love the Bengals this game. Joey Burrow, let's go.
Ooh, wee. All right. Whatever you say, Justin.
Yeah, everybody has their boogeyman, and Patrick Mahomes' boogeyman is Joe Burrow, the reincarnation of Joe Montana, Joe Cool himself. I'm going with the Bengals on this one.
What do you say, Greg?
I'm going with the Chiefs, man. This is going to be a great game to watch. But what I heard, the way Mahomes is talking this
Heck
week,
yeah, man.
like he's ready, and he's ready to light some ass.
Is he ready or is he rattled?
I'm going with the Chiefs.
All right, so I messed up this one because I meant to put Bengals on me. I'm going Bengals in this matchup. I like them to take it over. I meant to switch those up, so that's my bad. Fred going with Chiefs. I'm going with Bengals. So let's see. I like Bengals in this matchup. Like you said, they seem to own the Chiefs. All right, let's go to a fantasy bonanza. Chargers at Raiders. Raiders lead the series 67-57-2. Last time they played was earlier this year. Chargers won 24-19. Chargers are favored by 2.5, over under 49.5. Justin, what say you?
I'm going to go with the Chargers. I think that at this point, as hard as it is to say, their coach is better. Both coaches are not very good, but I think that the coach for the Chargers is a little bit better. And I think that Justin Herbert is far better than Derek Carr is at this point in his career. So I'm going to go with the Chargers in a shootout.
Greg?
I'm going with the Chargers, man. Chargers are on fire this week. The last couple of games, Herbert looks healthy. So I'm going with the Chargers.
Fred, how about you?
I have to go with the Chargers. They're just playing for more. Raiders ain't playing for nothing. They don't care.
Mikey?
Chargers and another free play. Justin Herbert over 1.5 touchdowns.
All right, I like it. Nice shootout indeed, but I do like the Chargers to take it over. Let's go to the Sunday nighter. Another good one, Colts at the Cowboys. Cowboys lead the series 10-7. The Colts actually beat them the last time, 2018. It was 23-0. The Cowboys are favored by 10. I forgot who I gave this game to, but go ahead, take it over.
You gave it to me, and this is they should have flexed this game out Sunday night.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like, come on, NFL, be better.
I'm
going with Dallas. I'm going with Dallas. The weaponries are there. They're clicking right now. Dallas gonna whip them.
Yeah, so many great matchups, man. It's a shame. What do you say, Mikey?
I was going to take the Cowboys until I found out that Jeff Saturday was wearing cleats on Sunday or today. So I am taking the Colts money line plus 380 just for that reason.
Ooh, check that out. Let's mark that down. We're going to keep them to that one. Justin, what say you?
Wow, I didn't know this information. Shit, I would have changed my pick too.
Yep.
Now, what are you fucking crazy? The Cowboys are going to run over the Indianapolis Colts.
All right, we'll see.
Get out of here. I love the enthusiasm, but get out of here.
Greg, who you like?
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, we all like the Cowboys tonight. I think it was and another barn burner Monday night. The Saints at the Bucks. Saints lead the series 39-23. Last time they played was earlier this year. Tampa Bay won 20-10. Bucks are favored by 3.5, over under 40.5. And again, I didn't write down this one. So whoever I gave this to, take it away.
You gave it to me, but this one was a tough pick because the Saints have owned the Bucks in the last couple of years. But I think with Rashad White and Leonard Fournette, they're going to run the ball more. Brady's going to go back to just kind of a game manager. Mike Evans, I'm praying that he has a good game, but he never does. But I'm going with the Bucks. I just think this is the game that they finally beat the Saints.
All right, Freddie, who you like?
This is sad. Everybody's under 500 in that damn division. Let's see here. And they're actually playing for, I'm going to go with the Bucks because they have to win. If they lose, the freaking Saints are one game behind them for the division lead. You got to be kidding me. Come on, Bucks.
Mikey, who you like?
The Saints have owned the Bucks the last couple of years, but that's because Tom Brady was married. Tom Brady's divorced. He's undefeated, and he's going to win again. So there we go.
Yeah.
Justin?
Yeah, so this used to be the best division in the NFC, and now it's worse than the NFC least was at one point. I'm going to go with the Bucks on this one. Like Drew said, all the talent is there. I don't know what kind of Mardi Gras magic that Dennis Allen has to sprinkle on that team for them to win, but I don't think it's going to be enough today.
Yeah, definitely.
Or on Monday. Yeah,
sorry,
the Bucks definitely got it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Bucks all day. New Orleans just don't have the firepower, quite frankly, to keep up with them. All right, let's finish things up. It's Sunday. We got to get Sunday Mass. Although Jesus is feeling a little fired up this week. Let's hear from Fantasy Jesus. Let us pray.
I'm here to save your fantasy rosters. Good morning, TSS family. Who's ready to sell their souls for 5 sinful DFS picks?
Try me, bitch.
I like the spirit. Let's start out with our QB and Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert has statistically been phenomenal against the Raiders. He has scored 4 more points on average in PPR formats against the Raiders over any other team. Needless to say, he's going to be like Rain Man in a Las Vegas casino. He's going to be hitting the jackpot all day long. Let's go to our running backs. Dameon Pierce. Man, play him this week. He's going against the Browns defense that's allowing 18 points a game. And it's going to be a revenge game for both the Texans and Deshaun Watson. Play Dameon Pierce this week because he's going to be running through the Browns defense like Deshaun Watson runs through masseuses. We got Jalen Waddle coming. He's going to San Francisco this week, and he's going to be playing one of the worst teams against the slot receivers. This team literally averages 20 points to good slot receivers, and Jalen Waddle is elite. Play him this week. We got our defense of the week, and that's going to be Seattle. Seattle Seahawks against the LA Sacrificial Lambs. This is going to be like vultures at a dead carcass. Play the Seattle Seahawks this week. You will not be disappointed. Tyler Conklin, he's going to be playing a revenge game against the Minnesota Vikings. And more importantly, he's going to be doing it without Zach Wilson. In the 4 games without Zach Wilson, he is averaging a tight end 1 week every single week. He has been really good. And guess what? I've got something from the grave from one of my favorite rappers, Mr. Big L. Zach Wilson, you ain't a leader, ain't nobody followed you. You ain't shit, and your mama should have swallowed you. Big L, out. Back to you, Commissioner Cooper.
Ooh, we been a little spicy this week on Zach Wilson.
Okay, Justin.
Poor Zach Wilson. This guy can't even catch a break. All right, let's get on out of here. It's week 13. We got a lot of football to get to. Big Sunday today. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. We got lots of great content next week. Our friends at True Serum Football have a show later on Facebook. Make sure you go a little start to sit. Go follow that as well. Mikey Bets, we appreciate you. Make sure you go follow Mikey Bets and all his great content as well. We appreciate you guys. Good luck in week 13, and we are out. Oh, my bad.
We're on a mission.
Right. That's because you have... And it's time for TSS. It did it again.
I got it.
We're just out.
We're on a mission.
Right. That's because you have like...
We're on a mission. We're on a mission.
Put on your life vest and stop anchor. Put on your life vest and stop anchor. what it is.